Well, hello everybody. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic Wednesday. It is absolutely beautiful down here. Hope it's beautiful wherever you may be. We are, if you're watching this on replay, because we upload these after our live Q&A every week, we are live Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for about an hour or so as we answer your cord cutting related questions. We do our best to help you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. So I am going to quickly share this everywhere we can go. All right, so let me share this in social media, and we're going to go do this real quick. Hello, everybody. Willie, Clark, everybody. For some reason, okay, now it's starting to go. I don't know why, but my chat screen is running delayed all of a second. But it's great to see you. Tom, hello from Maui, California. It's great to see you here. All right, let me put this live on the site. Let me put it live on Twitter and Facebook real quick so everybody knows we are live. And we'll do our best to answer your cord cutting related questions. So, Facebook has taken their time. There we go. Wow, so many people out west. Where's everybody from today? I see some people from, a lot of people from out west and more. So hang in here with me real quick. Question, why does Major League Baseball have blackouts? Pretty much every Major League or streaming service does. You think about NBA does it too. Because they want you to, if you want to watch your in-market team, you need to pay for the station that's paid the money to do that. So you need to get your regional sports network, which if you want to watch the games in your area, you need to get something like Sling TV, YouTube TV, etc. So keep that in mind. So many people from all over the place. Vancouver, California, Utah, North Carolina. A lot of North Carolina people here all of a second. So let me switch screens. All right, so we should be live everywhere now, and we are shared it everywhere. So, all right, if you have a question, post in the comments. I'm gonna do my best to answer it. Fortunately, it looks like my chat screen is a little wonky today, so I'm gonna have to read down here and talk up here today. But I'll get this chat fixed for next week. Not sure why that's happening. Yes, blackouts are to protect the local broadcaster because they want, the regional sports networks pay a lot of money for NBA and Major League Baseball games. They want to ensure that you're going to actually watch them. So they're blacking them out. Now, Major League Baseball did try to remove the blackouts, but their attempts failed. They were not able to strike a deal to make that happen this year. So hopefully when their next set of contracts come up, they'll be able to strike a deal and get around it. Hi, Luke. Did you know that Ultraviolet video streaming service is shutting down July 31st? Yes, we have several stories about it over at CoreCarsNews.com. And you will be able to move your content over to like Vudu if you have stuff on Ultraviolet. How far was I from the fire? If you're talking about the fire that was in Houston, I'm over closer to Austin. So a couple hours. Doug, it's great to see somebody from the Great White North here. I hope everything's well over in Canada. Major League Baseball on Sling. Yes, so this morning Major League Baseball was live on Sling, and then later in the day it was live over on the Strikeout was live, but then Sling pulled both back. So hopefully the next day or two that will go live and be everywhere. So fingers crossed. Yes, and if you're a T-Mobile customer, you can get Major League Baseball as at-bat service, MLB.TV, excuse me, not the at-bat, for free for a year from T-Mobile. Check out their website for more information. No Life. The legal ones are staying around. The illegal ones are being pursued and shut down. Just kind of the way it is. Do you think Viacom will come back to PlayStation Vue? They could, but that'll probably result in a PlayStation Vue price increase. So if you want Viacom, be prepared to pay more on PlayStation Vue. Channels cost money. The more channels you have, the more money you're going to pay. Jay says, exactly what is the Watch TV Now? And do you recommend it? McAfee says it's a risky site. If you're talking about AT&T Watch TV, I'm not familiar with Watch TV Now, but AT&T's Watch TV, if you're talking about that, AT&TWatchTV.com is a legitimate streaming service from AT&T. It's free with their unlimited and more plans. It is there's a cost to it, I think $15 if you want it in your non-AT&T unlimited and more. There are a few drawbacks for AT&T's Watch TV service is that it does not include a DVR. It's only one stream, and its selection is very limited, so keep that in mind. Luke, what do you think of Apple TV's Plus and Apple TV's channels? Well, first thing I have to say about Apple's new announcement is Apple is amazingly uncreative in their names. ESPN Plus, Disney Plus is what Disney's been doing. Suddenly Apple goes with Apple Plus. Amazon Channels is the gold standard of these all-in-one managed subscription service. It's been around for a couple years now. Suddenly Apple has Apple Channels. And I have to say, Apple, you're coming to the game late and you're just copying other people's names is not a great look for you. Past that, as the actual services, it's really hard to screw up a channels-like system. The idea is with Apple TV channels is you'll be able to use your Apple ID and your Apple Pay account to manage multiple subscriptions. Fingers crossed that happens well. There's not a lot to it. Now, Apple's biggest thing is the announcement of the number of services they're currently offering is kind of small. Hopefully, they continue to grow that. The Apple TV Plus service, which is their Netflix-like subscription paid streaming service, sounds okay. It's coming out this fall. They didn't really announce a lot. I think we got like a handful of couple shows. We don't know if these shows will be at the launch or at some future date. Is there other content going to be there? Is the price $2? Is the price $50? We'll have to wait and see what is going to happen. So fingers crossed, there will be a lot more coming in the weeks and months to come that we'll learn about the Apple TV Plus, because I tell you right now, we just don't know enough about Apple's new service to make it something I'll say, go get it. If it's $30, what they're talking about, I would say no, not interested at all. If it's $2, yeah, that sounds great. $2, why not? If it's $10, well, let's see what kind of lineup they have at launch. If it's a good lineup, maybe it's worth it. I would say Apple will have a hard time justifying anything over $10 if all they're offering is original content, because they're only going to have a handful of those shows at launch. If they strike deals to get third-party content from Paramount or Viacom or who knows who, then yeah, they could make something great there. But for now, we just don't know enough about Apple TV and Apple channels to say if it's going to be worth it or not. So fingers crossed they give us some more information. My question to you is, what do you think of the Apple announcement? Are you excited about Apple channels? Are you excited about Apple TV Plus? Do you think that's going to be worth it for you? If not, why? If so, why? I'd love to hear from you. What do I think about the Apple credit card? It's interesting. I've never really gotten into using my phone as my payment method still. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I need to give that more of a try. Luke, what do you think of the Apple credit? Oh, I just answered that. Several people asked that question right back to back. It feels like Apple is running out of ideas. I don't know if they're running out of ideas as much as they're just trying to play catch up a little bit. They're way behind in the living room market. Apple TV coming to the Fire TV and Apple TV coming to the Roku is kind of an admission in Apple's part that they're not going to dominate the living room. That the living room is a market that they've lost, at least in hopes of having the ability to dictate what happens with it, having the ability to be a leader in that field. For now, we'll have to say, hey, we're just going to stick with making good content, trying to make money in other ways, and putting our content on the Roku and on the Fire TV. Paul says Apple's announcement was a whole lot of talk and not much on the not much side. Yeah, there's not a lot of details. It felt like Apple, so much was leaking and they were expecting more to leak as they tried to negotiate with content providers that they felt like they had to do something, or everything they were going to do was just going to get leaked anyway. So it's not like they're going to do it. We'll see. Luke, did you cancel DirecTV Now, or are you still on board? I'm on board. Of course, I'm also on board with Sling, PlayStation View, Fubo, Hulu, and all YouTube TV and all the others. As part of the job, it's kind of my responsibility to go out there and review all this and have them on my fingertips when changes happen. So I subscribe to all of them, and yeah. But if I wasn't, I would probably cancel. I'll be honest, those new Plus and Max packages have zero interest to me. HBO is not something I want year-round. HBO, I'll get during Silicon Valley, and that's it. So paying that premium price of HBO included year-round, it's just not worth it for me. How many customers is DirecTV Now losing? We don't know, but they're becoming awfully aggressive in trying to keep them. So we'll see. Seven Snow asks, what is the best streaming service? Well, Seven Snow, that really depends on what you want. There's really no wrong answer. In the live TV world, there's many great options out there. In the on-demand world, of course, you got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and so many others. It really comes down to what you want. For instance, if you're an anime fan, you may think the Crunchyroll and the Funimation streaming services are the best thing ever made. If you're a sports fan, you may be like, hey, that $5 for ESPN Plus and maybe Sling TV to get the rest of ESPN, that's the best ever. But for you, it really may depend on what you want. So I would say do your research, figure out what you want. Here are the shows I absolutely must have, and then use that to guide which service is right for you. I'm doing a free trial of Acorn TV after hearing you talk AZ channels. That's great. Yeah, Acorn TV is a great service. Let me know what you think of it after you've played around with it for a couple weeks. I'd love to hear your review. Is Pluto TV getting the Weather Channel? I just see Weather Nation. Yeah, Robert, we posted about that. They're not getting a live feed of the Weather Channel, but a bunch of the Weather Channel shows have started to appear in Pluto TV channels. Like the new Travel Channel has several Pluto or Weather Channel shows on it. So it's not a feed of the Weather Channel. It's Weather Channel's documentary, lifestyle programming, etc. is now streaming on Pluto TV. Will 5G make streaming better? Jeff, I think so once it deploys nationwide. The thing that 5G will do is bring competition. Because right now, in most areas, you have DSL and cable. Maybe if you're lucky, there may be a third option out there. But the great thing about it is the ability to go and have competition, to say cable and DSL no longer do you have a monopoly. You now have to compete with T-Mobile, Verizon, Dish, and all these other companies. And competition is what we need, and 5G is going to bring it. Mule, if Sling can bring MLB as an add-on, why can't they bring Fox News as an add-on? Fox News is the most expensive streaming service or news channel out there, and because they've been dominating for year after year, so it's allowed them to charge a premium price. Seems like Sling TV is not willing to do that. I do think if Sling TV gets Fox News and the Big Ten Network, Sling TV is kind of an unstoppable force. Issue is, Fox probably wants to be in the base package. Sling probably wants to put them in a news add-on. There's probably friction there. Maybe that will change now that Fox, Disney owns most of Fox, but Fox News and Fox local stations are now owned by Fox Corp, which is a new organization. So maybe with the new Fox Corp being smaller, more heavily focused on sports and news, because Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, etc., are also part of Fox Corp, the new corporate company, that we'll maybe see that come to Sling TV. We'll wait and see. Howard says YouTube TV now has all locations. They are nationwide from my understanding. They don't have all locals yet, but they are adding locals at a steady pace. And Hulu or YouTube TV will probably be the first ones to have all the locals, with maybe PlayStation View striking some special deal at the end and kind of getting in there. But they're fighting kind of neck to neck to get all the locals right now. Brandon says, I have a huge feeling that Apple will buy Netflix next year. Highly unlikely. Doesn't make a lot of sense for in Apple's view, yeah, they have a lot of money laying around, but to complete that sale, Apple would need to bring that money from overseas to the United States, pay taxes on it in the United States, and then buy Netflix. And Netflix has a lot of debt, has a lot of stuff. I'm not sure Apple would want to buy, to be honest with you. Not that I think it shouldn't happen, or won't happen, I should say. I just don't think it's likely to happen because the upside to Apple is not huge. What's the best live TV streaming service for the money? That depends on which one you like. Now, a few examples. If you're a Big Ten fan, Sling TV may not be the service to you because they don't have the Big Ten network. But if you're a Pac-12 network fan and you want the Pac-12 network, the Pac-12 network Sling TV may be perfect to you because the Pac-12 network is on Sling TV. So you need to write down, like, here are the channels I absolutely must have. And then take that and go look at Sling TV, DirecTV Now, etc. And my recommendation is take advantage of the free trials. They have many free trials out there. And hopefully they will one of them will be perfect for you. I think very likely one of them will be perfect for you. Is there one live TV streaming service that's perfect for everyone? No, there isn't, because everybody has different needs. And that's the great thing about cord cutting, is with cable, they'll say, hey, 3 packages, you pick one of these 3 packages, and if they don't have perfectly what you want, tough luck, kid. With cord cutting, we have like 20 options to pick from. You pick one of those 20 options that you like and go with it, because what I may like may not be what you like. So keep that in mind. And Robert, you are right. Pac-12 is on Fubo. I was just kind of using that as an example of why, Sling TV to a Big Ten fan may not be a perfect option, but to a Pac-12 fan, Sling TV may be. So you are right that Pac-12 is on other services, though. Don't know if you answered my question because I had to step away for a second. Sorry to hear you had to step away. Is ABC considering its own streaming service? Not that I know of, but remember, ABC is owned by Disney, who owns Hulu. ABC content's on Hulu. I would think it's very unlikely, now that Disney owns the majority of Hulu, that they would split ABC content off into a different streaming service. Tony says, hi Luke, from New Mexico. Right now, with the testing of 5G, T-Mobile 5G, only have speed at about 50. Do you know if the speeds will get faster? Now, Tony, you are right that T-Mobile is getting prepared for 5G, but they're testing LTE. So that home internet service that you're seeing that's only 50 down is LTE service. That's why they're capping it at 50,000 people only, because they don't want to overwhelm their LTE network. They have already stated that 5G will be considerably faster, and I know there was a lot of bad reporting around the T-Mobile home internet services are launching, but we have a story over at corecarsnews.com that very clearly breaks it down. The service that's launching now is 50 down, 50 up, no data cap, home internet, more than enough to stream cord cutting, but it runs on the LTE. This is a test to make sure like their customer service side, their billing, all that kind of stuff is all set up so that when their 5G network goes live, they'll be ready to go and give you the 5G experience you want without having to deal with any customer issues. So keep that in mind, that there will be improvements in speed, probably around the 300 to a gigabyte speed, I would say. Luke, do you think that Redbox is a good way to get a movie? Yeah, I think Redbox is an excellent way to get a movie. They have a streaming service, but of course you can still just walk in and get the DVDs. And sometimes for new movie releases, that's typically a lot cheaper than streaming them. Will Univision come back to Sling? At this time, no. Univision is coming back to Dish, but not Sling TV. For now, Sling is still pushing the idea that, hey, get an antenna, watch Univision with an antenna just like you would on ABC, etc. Luke, will Hulu be adding more local CW stations to Hulu Live? I would expect, yes, that Hulu will continue to add locals. Can't wait for Court TV. Yes, Court TV will be coming as a free over-the-air network in select markets in May. Hopefully also streaming online. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know. Did I hear, Mule says, did I hear that NBC will soon have their own streaming service? Yes, there's been reports that NBC will have a free ad-supported service, probably like a Pluto, like a Crackle, where they'll put a lot of stuff on there. Hello, Dwayne. It's great to see more people from Michigan. Well, Funimation / Hulu deal, with the Funimation / Hulu deal, okay, I think I understand your question, NYC. Will the Funimation Hulu deal continue now that Disney owns Hulu? Yes, I do not expect them to terminate that contract. The Hulu will be focused more on adult audience, not like red light district adult, but more mature type audiences. And anime kind of plays right into that. Funimation and Hulu, from my understanding, has a long-term deal, and that will continue. Disney will plan to continue to honor their deal there. So yes, I do not expect Hulu to suddenly lose their anime content. Luke, any chances NFL Red Zone will ever go to YouTube TV? It sure could, but at this moment we have not heard and we do not know. Luke, what's your thoughts on PBS coming to streaming services? I think it's great that PBS is coming to streaming service. The downside is, the more things you have on streaming service, the higher the cost goes. So keep that in mind. PBS, if you can get with an antenna, I would recommend doing that. Just keep that in mind. Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that our advertisement, our post there, helped you get that deal. I see people always posting, oh, you post so many deals. Well, here's my thing. I want to help you save money, so I'll let you know of all the deals out there. And so I'm glad to hear that worked and that you found something that you thought was a good deal and it worked for you to get it. Luke, did I read it right that Roku is considering adding Air TV? Roku already has Air TV support, so I'm not sure I understand your question, Tony, but there is an Air TV app, and you can also use Sling TV app to access your Air TV through the Sling TV app. Thanks, No Life. I'm happy to hear you like the deals. Mark says, I switched from HD Home Run to YouTube TV and couldn't be happier. Mark, why? What makes you happy with YouTube TV? Let me know what you like about it. Will Sling TV ever add locals? No, Sling TV probably won't. They made it very clear that, in order to keep price on at $25 a month, locals have to go. Locals alone cost between $12 and $16 a month, depending on which locals you have. That's what I'm hearing right now. So if you would add locals, that would put Sling TV closer to $40. While you look at the services that have locals, they're at $40. If you're like me, I have an antenna in the act. It gives me everything I want here. I actually get 47 locals through my antenna, all in great HD. Well, to me, it's better deal to get Sling TV. That's why Air TV is such a great device. I would connect my antenna to my Air TV. Now, right in my Sling TV app, I have my locals and my streaming channels right next to each other. So keep that in mind. I think there are great. I think it's a great option for people with antenna. I understand why, if you live in an area where antenna isn't a great option, you would like them to do it. But I understand Sling's issue with not wanting it to be there. So keep that in mind. John says, Luke, what's your morning ritual at Core Cars News? Well, we usually have a bunch of stories prepped for the morning. So usually one of the very first things I do when I wake up is hit post on a story. I like to manually do it. I don't use time ones. I know some people just set timing, but sometimes breaking news happens overnight and I like to reshuffle kind of my schedule so that I can incorporate the breaking news into it. But yeah, so usually do a lot of reading in the morning, get out whatever breaking news happened overnight, and try to get the best coverage as possible. Mornings are usually the busiest time. I find if news is going to break, it more often than not happens in the morning than it does in the afternoon. So that's what I kind of like about it. But yeah, so that's kind of a quick look. Usually before I've even had breakfast, I have come on here and hit post on my first story of the day. Wow, 96 channels with your antenna. Very nice. I don't sleep. Well, there are some days it sure feels like I don't sleep. I'll keep that in mind. All right, hey, there's a lot of people here today. So many new faces. It's great to have you here. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll answer your core question for about an hour. If you're new here and you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. If you've been here a while, ring that notification bell. We do daily news recaps, reviews, how-to guides, and more all over here. And we'll love to have you join us. and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV. Do I ever buy digital movies? Yes, all the time. I have quite the collection, actually, of digital movies and TV shows. You know what I missed? I forget what the service was. It used to be a service where if you watched commercials, they would give you credits, and you could go use those credits to buy things on Amazon. So I used to use, so when I did that, I used to buy a lot of stuff, but I still do. Mostly in Amazon, occasionally on Vudu or Google Play or all the other ones out there, depending on what the deals are. Josh's Cheapskate here. Any cool promos going on for services right now? A few. Sling TV, of course, has their $15 for the first 3 months deal happening. I would get in on that now. I'm not sure how much longer that deal is going to go. There was another deal happening for streaming services that I'm blanking out on. Curiosity Stream has a pretty good deal right now I would check out. So keep that in mind. I'm blanking out. Anybody know any other good streaming service deals at this moment? Discounts. So Curiosity Stream, the Sling TV one. And there's another one out there that's like, I know it's there. I just can't remember what it is. You're listening to me on your drive to work. Well, hey, it's great to have you here. Just remember, 10 and 2, eyes on the road. No accidents, please. What do you suggest is the best antenna? I don't really have one in particular. A few things I would recommend, Jay, is first of all, do your research. Look at which one, go to like Antenna Web, enter in where your address is so you can see like, hey, where is my transmitter towers? Do I need a rooftop antenna? Do I need an indoor antenna? Know that. But I would recommend these brands: RCA, Mohu, WineGuard, Antennas Direct, Channel Master, and there's another one out there that I can't remember its name. But do your research a little bit. The most important thing is most if you buy the right antenna, the brand doesn't matter as much. But what you need to do is know: do you need an indoor antenna? Do you need an outdoor antenna? Are you 10 miles from the nearest transmitter? Are you 50 miles from the nearest transmitter? So you need to know that. Jess, thank you. Jess says that CBS All Access has a free month right now. That is right. Go in the Deals tab. Thanks, Jess. Go to Core Cars News. Click on the Deals tab at the top. We have a whole bunch of deals, including the CBS deal. I think Pandora, if you're into music, has a deal right now. It keeps going and coming back, so check that out. Richard, yes, we're almost to 60,000. Maybe tomorrow? That's a little aggressive, but I expect by the end of the month we'll hit 60,000. That was a goal, and that's actually, I thought when we said, hey, by the end of March we would like 60,000 subscribers, I thought that was unrealistic. That was kind of like my way out there, or I thought it was on the fringe of reality where we could possibly hit 60,000 this month. I never thought we would hit it with time to spare. So thank you to everybody who's a new subscriber to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Spotify and Hulu, yes. So if you have Spotify Premium, this is why Jess is amazing here. So Jess is the newest writer over at Core Cars News, our newest full-time employee, so make sure you say welcome. But Spotify, if you have Spotify Premium, you can get Hulu's commercial plan for free. It's on demand only, though. Keep that in mind. Hey, thank you so much for that $2 donation. I really appreciate those super chats. Those donations go a long ways. We really appreciate it. We actually have a lot of antenna reviews. If you go into our reviews here, you go in our page, we have a bunch of playlists, and one of the playlists are nothing but antenna reviews. So check that out. We have different playlists for different types of reviews, for Roku reviews, Fire TV reviews, Apple TVs, streaming players, smart TVs, and more. So check that out, but there is one that's nothing but antenna reviews. Yes, and here's another great deal that Robert pointed out, and this is another one I posted about, but Showtime Stars and Epix has a free 30-day free trial if you get it from the Roku channel. Ends this Sunday. Let me make a little note so I remind everybody of that. All right. I know this is stunning right here, but let me make myself a little note so I remember to share that with everybody so they don't forget that they only have a few days left to take advantage of that deal. What's that antenna website? Antenna Web is a great one out there. There's many of them. Luke, will the Apple TV app coming to the Fire TV and Roku allow you to access content you purchase from iTunes? I would assume so, but that has not been confirmed. And I sent an email about that to ask for clarification, and I don't think they ever got back to me, which I'm sure, because that was right after the big press event, I'm sure they were completely slammed. So I'll have to go check and follow up on that email because it probably got lost in the mix there. Well, thank you for another great donation. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like our Roku channel. I got big plans here. We're working on things, so keep that in mind. And DirecTV Now will give you a free month if you use the code March2019, another one we posted about. So check that out. Got any news or updates on Google's new gaming system? Nothing new, nothing since they made the announcement a couple weeks ago. All right, so NYC says that one of the great things about buying movies on iTunes is you can use the Movies Anywhere app to access them on Roku and other devices. That's true for many movies, but not all. Not all studios participate in the Movies Anywhere app, so keep that in mind. Any good HBO deals where you can sign up to watch Game of Thrones cheaply. DirecTV, if you want a live TV service, get in their premium one, maybe not be a bad option. I really don't know of anybody having any sales right now. Of course, if you're at AT&T Unlimited and more, I think you can get HBO still for free last I checked. So that's what I would keep in mind. Luke, where do you find your show notes visually impaired? If you're watching any of our daily recaps, the pinned comment at the top and in the show notes of our videos, we do have show notes breaking down each one where we have links to full-blown written stories. Are you using any like text-to-speech? From my understanding, I believe our website is fully compatible with all text-to-speech or programs out there like Dragon and some of the others. Let me know if you're using it and you're having problems on the site, and I'll have our web team double check to make sure we're fully compliant with people needing an audio text-to-speech there. So let me know if we need to improve that. Hey, real quick, so we can pay the bills. It's really great to see so many new faces here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. I'm going to quickly play a 15-30 second ad because, hey, it pays the bills. And I got employees that want paychecks. So hang in there real quick with me for about 15 seconds. For everybody who is not seeing it, and I don't know why some people have it and some people don't, but we have now an iOS app. In the show notes down below, I have a link to our apps on iOS, Android, and Fire tablets, which will give you a great ability to read our content. It's got reduced ads. There's even a way if you want to pay a subscription and you can have all the ads removed from the app too if you really hate ads but you want to support Core Cars News. So check that out in the show notes down below. If you are new here, that app is great. Leave us a 5-star review if you use our app. It really does help us because the more people leave positive reviews, more people who see them. But yeah, check it out. All right, any news on new Roku devices? I would expect a new Roku device to come. I don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. But is it going to happen this spring or is it going to happen this fall? We'll wait and see. Yeah, we have an app, and the app brings you all the text from our site. Link in the show notes down below to our app. Jim, hey, thank you so much for that $5 donation. Huge help. What's my opinion on the Air TV player device? I like the Air TV player, and I like the Air TV network device. I would probably get the Air TV network and get like a Roku. The only downside with the Air TV player is it's Android TV, which means it doesn't have an official Amazon app. So you can sideload an Amazon app, but there's no one natively. And that's my biggest knock against the Air TV. But if you get the black Air TV device, it will allow you to stream your antenna off to other devices out there. So keep that in mind, that if you already have a Roku, you already have a Fire TV or any of those kind of things, get the Air TV's black version, connect it to your Wi-Fi network, connect to your antenna, stream it right into your Sling TV. Students can also get YouTube Premium for $5.99. Yes, and students can also get a discount version of the app, Amazon Prime. So if you have a student ID, make sure you take advantage of Amazon Prime student discount. You get all the same benefits from my understanding when it comes to free shipping and movies and TV shows as you would get with a full-blown one. All right. Daniel says he recommends Tableau. He really likes it, and he uses it with a Roku. Yeah, it's a great device. Anyway, you can do an in-depth review of Hulu Live versus YouTube TV. That is on my list, Chris. Keep an eye on the site. We've been working our way through some of these different ones, so keep an eye on that. Does the Black Air TV also record? Yes, the Black Air TV also has a DVR. Do you know if Disney Plus will include live streams of Disney Junior? I would suspect that it will not. It will probably include a lot of Disney Junior content, but probably not live streams. CBS All Access also gives a 25% discount to students. Hey Jess, if you're still here, write that down. I was not aware that CBS All Access had a student discount. You learn something new every day. Paul, well, unfortunately, we're not hiring. I'm glad you want a paycheck, but we have several full-time staff here at Core Cars News, and right now they want the paycheck. So maybe someday we'll be hiring again. Wow, another $5 donation. Yes, I'm glad you like our newsletter. Hey, if you're not, we have a newsletter that goes out every single day with the biggest stories in the world of core cutting. I'll get that link to you in a minute. But you just remember that if you want to make sure you never miss any of the biggest stories happening in the world of core cutting, check out the newsletter link. So let me grab you that right now, and I'll put it in the show notes too. How long does Showtime's $7 per month deal last on YouTube? I think it lasts right now for good. I don't think they've announced, I'm sure that will end, but I don't think they've announced when that deal will come to an end. So fingers crossed it will continue for some time to come. All right. Oh, they changed the lists. Let's see here. Manage contacts. Okay. Let's see here. Real quick, if I can find this, they've completely reorganized. They've reorganized the way this home screen looks. So now I have to figure out where the campaign lists are to give you view lists. There it is. They moved the button. Is it me, or do you really hate it when websites would change everything? And it doesn't seem to be changed for any other reason than somebody just decided, you know, I know we've had our website like this and the toolbar's been on the top and everybody loves it. Let's take that toolbar and put it in the bottom. Am I the only one that hates that? Anybody out there? You know, the other thing I kind of have a thing for that kind of always worries me is the fact that whenever I see something that says new and improved, like I go in my favorite restaurant or has a new and improved menu, or my favorite cereal is new and improved, the first thing I think is it tastes awful now. Is they took whatever I loved and they made it awful. I always hate it whenever I see new and improved taste, because I always think it's going to taste awful now. All right, so I just tweeted a link to our apparently it won't let me put that there. So apparently, let me create a shortened version of it. Some reason it looks like, okay. All right, there we go. That time it worked. So right there is a link to sign up for our daily newsletter. So if you would like to every morning get a newsletter from Core Cars News as all the biggest stories happening in the world of core cutting right now, I just put the link there so you can check that out. All right, with 5G home internet coming, will we see less congestion and more consistent speeds? 5G is built for home internet. It has a much bigger capacity, ability to handle a lot more data than 4G LTE does. So yes, I would expect it to improve that. There's also the idea that it would spread out your users across multiple networks. That's another one out there. A new Grind My Gears episode. That's not a bad idea. New improved means 1999. Yeah. If you run a PR firm, can I tell you one thing? Never use the term new and improved. Whenever I see that, I want to run for the hills, just to be honest with you. If you sideload an app onto an Android or Fire TV app, is that legal or not? Well, sideloading apps onto devices is legal. Is the device or is what you're sideloading legal or not is a question you have to ask yourself. Some apps are legal, some apps are not legal. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Just keep that in mind. How secure is 5G? 5G will be, from my understanding, just as secure as other methods. I haven't heard anything else that would say it will be less secure. Of course, if you're very, very concerned about it, always use a VPN. Please don't change the website. I like it the way it is. Sounds good. I already kind of answered this, but I'll give you another quick breakdown, Brad, because I know a lot more people are here now. He's asking, what do I think of Apple's new streaming service they just announced? Do you think it would take off, or is it too late? So there's really two. So there's Amazon, Apple copies Amazon's name, and I keep wanting to call it Amazon Channels. Apple Channels, which is exactly like Amazon Channels, and they even use the name Channels in their name, is a service that will allow you through the Apple TV app to manage subscriptions. Now, I know through iTunes you can already subscribe to other services and pay for it through iTunes. The difference with this is you'll now have one spot where all these services are. In the past, you had to go download the app and then subscribe. Now you just subscribe right through the Apple TV app. Your username and password will now be your Apple ID. And your billing will be the Apple TV billing information. So it is. I think that could be very successful for them. Amazon has reportedly had great luck and is a great service, to be honest with you. I love when HBO, when I want to get Silicon Valley, I just click on HBO and Amazon Channels. It appears in my Amazon app. When I'm done with it, I click a button once the season's over and I unsubscribe. And it just makes subscribing and unsubscribing so easy. And I think Apple will find great success there. For the Apple TV service, their Apple TV Plus, which again, Disney's been calling all their services Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. Now Apple is Apple Plus, Apple TV Plus, excuse me. Not very original, Apple. We just don't know enough. We don't know the price. We don't know what the content lineup is. We don't know if there's going to be any third-party content. It won't come out to this fall. So without knowing the price, without knowing what the lineup will look like at launch, are they going to have just a couple original Apple shows? Are they going to have a ton of third-party content? We don't know. But I think they have a possibility to make something that would be great. But I also think that they are very late to the game, as you said. And what I saw this week, I'm not sure will be enough to make people run out there and buy it, just to be honest with you. Chris says, does Root Sports have their channels on any streaming service? So AT&T bought Root Sports as part of their deal to get DirecTV. Root Sports was renamed to AT&T Sportsnet. And AT&T Sportsnet Southwest was recently added to Fubo. At this time, from my understanding, that is the only one out there that offers it live. So keep that in mind. But hopefully, since it's on Fubo now, it'll become more of them will be coming, and other services will be getting it soon. What's your take on the court case yesterday about shutting down companies that deal with robocalls? I think that's great. I love that that FTC I think it's the FTC is going after companies that make robocalls, and they're making it very clear that this is just the beginning. that they're working very hard and they intend to continue to prosecute companies who are making illegal robocalls. So hopefully, here's them being successful, because man, if I don't get 4 or 5 calls like that a day now sometimes. I have noticed though that the number of robocalls I got in the last 24 hours went way down. Anyone else here notice that your robocalls went down? They didn't stop, but the number of them are way down in the last 24 hours. If my computer was removed, what would I be looking at? Hey, Willie, thanks for being a member of the YouTube channel. Your monthly donation to us is greatly appreciated. So what would I be looking at? I have a couple windows here, and I have a beautiful tree that just bloomed into leaves. So that's what I'm looking at. Right behind you is a large window. Ever since I've been a kid, I've always liked looking at windows. So I always like to put my desk facing a window. Luke, did you see that John Oliver's piece on robocalls? No, I didn't, Colin, unfortunately. I'll check that out on YouTube. I got 2 today. Yeah, there are still a few robocalls happening because there's more than 4 companies out there. The FTC successfully got a court ruling against 4 companies doing them. But there's got to be more companies doing it, so keep that in mind. Do I see Philo adding channels? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Philo did. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if nothing happens anytime soon. Yeah, Daniel, I have a Pixel 3, and I absolutely love Google's call screening. Very, very effective. NYC, that's kind of an unfair thing. That's kind of like saying the price of milk has gone up since something happened in the past. Robocalls for decades have been going up. Since the 90s, the number of robocalls have been going like this. So to say that, because this new FCC commissioner took over, suddenly robocalls are big. And the real reason that's very unfair, because the FCC doesn't regulate phone services. The FTC is the one in charge of those kind of robocalls. So, I hate to say it, but that sounds like somebody trying to make a political argument that doesn't really know what they're talking about. Because if you look at like the court cases, the FCC didn't bring these court cases against these 4 companies. They didn't win the judgments. The FTC did. So keep that in mind. So let me see if I can grab that story right there. Yes, the FTC did it. So let me share with you real quick the link. And here's the thing that you got to remember. There's a lot of people out there trying to make political jabs whenever they can. And NYC, I get it. I'm not. This isn't at you. I know you didn't say. I know you're just saying something that was said on HBO. But always take things with a grain of salt. Whenever you do it, read on both sides and keep that in mind. So I just shared the story about the FTC shutting down a bunch of them. So keep that in mind out there. Hopefully they continue to go after these guys. I would really love to see them do that. What streaming services have with locals that has 5.1 audio besides DirecTV Now? There's a couple, but somebody help me with the list. What other streaming services offer 5.1 audio? What is Wi-Fi Live TV, Greg? I'm not sure. Do you have a link? How many subscriptions do you think DirecTV Now will lose? From the sounds of it, probably a lot, because they've been really aggressive. They've been really aggressively offering discounts to current subscribers to get them to stay. So fingers crossed. Brad says he sold his AT&T stock after the announcement. All right. Hey, we have 10 more minutes. If I haven't answered your question, please re-ask it, because there's a ton of people here today. Great to see so many people come week after week. It's great to see so many new faces. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up, helps us. If you've been around, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. FTC, Colin, regulates things like robocalls and wireless spectrum. Or no, FCC wireless, whatever. But the FTC is the one that's been going after and prosecuting. So Colin, here, I'll share this one more time. Here's the link to the story that includes the FTC press release. The FTC is the one that went out after them, Colin, and the FTC is the one that won the judgment out there. So you're right that the FCC does regulate things like wireless spectrums. So you are very correct. So your the networks that your phone goes on, they do play a part in that. But the FTC's been the one that's been going after companies for violating the do not call list. So FTC and FCC are two very similar companies that, or government organizations. I know they have different things in the end, but they also work hand in hand with each other on these kind of things too. But it seems like the FTC, when it comes to prosecuting robocallers, is the ones taking the lead on that and managing robocalling. Hey Greg, if that service sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Is it? NYC says, is installing an antenna attic worth it for reception? Rooftop is always best. If that's not an option or you don't want to do that, and attic mounted is also a great option. I have mine in the attic and I'm getting 47 channels and I'm everything I want. Very, very happy. When is Core TV making their debut? Sometime in May. They haven't said when. They also haven't said which markets will get it first. Will Fox Sports regionals fade away? Disney has to sell them. It's not if they want to sell them, they have to sell them. Part of the deal with the Department of Justice to get approval to buy most of Fox was that they would sell off within 90 days of closing on their portion of Fox, the local sports channels. So sometime in the next, where are we at, 80 days right now? Something around 80 days, they will be selling off all the regional sports networks, so keep that in mind. So thanks, Kenneth. Hopefully we helped you make cord cutting easier. Hopefully we're helping you get the most out of your cord cutting experience. And we're going to keep plucking away. Any chance that PlayStation Vue might add Lifetime and A&E? I really do hope so. I would expect that to come maybe in the future, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So you know what I love? There is 7 minutes left in the Q&A, and my display. I have a tablet here that's connected to my computer, to another laptop, and that displays as a second monitor of it, and it has the chat. And this entire show, it has not been working right. What happens with less than 10 minutes left? It starts working. The screen flickered, and all of a second, it's updating properly. So you have to absolutely love that with only 10 minutes left, suddenly my chat monitor starts working. Technology, folks, you gotta love it. All right, have I reviewed the Cavio device? I haven't yet. They actually reached out to us and offered us a review. I said I would love to review it. It was actually, and then they never sent it, and they never followed up with us. So it's on my list of things to buy. I've just been a little bit busy, and I haven't gotten around to it. I have a couple other reviews I gotta get done first, though. So it's coming. My first reaction to it is, for most cord cutters, I don't think they'll really get a big need out of it, because the Cavio is a device that basically is a smart HDMI switcher where you can plug in multiple devices, and it intelligently has voice search and all kinds of stuff built into it to manage like a Roku, an Apple TV, Fire TV, a DVD player, cable box, and more. The problem with that, for 3 years ago, when the market was very segmented and what was on an Apple wasn't necessarily on a Roku, and what Roku had for a streaming service, the Fire TV necessarily didn't have. That was a bigger need. Nowadays, though, typically if it's on Roku, it's also on the Fire TV and Apple TV. And for cord cutters, you don't really have a cable box. And increasingly, I find people are not using DVDs. Half of our readers said they 100% stream their content now. They don't use any DVDs or Blu-rays. So I think for most cord cutters, I would say, hey, skip it. May not be worth it. So here's a question we want to end. Do you have a book, a movie, or TV show you would recommend? Let's kind of finish out with some recommendations. One thing, has anyone ever been to a Buc-ee's in the state of Texas? Now, if you haven't been to a Buc-ee's, it's like a Disney truck stop. Is the only way I can describe it. It's a really cool truck stop that has all kinds of merchandise and food that's really good and all kinds of stuff. So if you ever come to Texas, make sure you go to a Buc-ee's and keep that in mind. But What I picked up there this week was something called a book called Stuff Every American Should Know by Denise Kernan and Joseph D. Agostine or whatever. It's a short little book called Stuff Every American Should Know, and it's just like really weird, fun little stories like what was the bicameral Congress, to why do we yell Geronimo when we jump off cliffs, can I really write a check on anything, all just kind of like fun, random like questions you may never have known. The history of the Pledge of Allegiance is in here. The Star Spangled Banner stories in here. There's the Who is Geronimo. Who played the very first football game is one of the things. Here's another one. Is it really illegal to rip a dollar bill in half? So if you're looking for something kind of fun, it was not even $10. It was like $9, this book. Every American should know. I'm not even sure how accurate all the stuff is, but it's really fun to read, like, why do we yell Geronimo and all that stuff. So maybe if I can get this to focus real quick. There is Stuff Every American Should Know. Check it out. It's a good book for the bathroom. You're right, Colin. But what movie or what TV show would you recommend getting? Let me know. And we'll go from there. So where do you find out stuff about an attic antenna? Here's a great question. Because an attic antenna is really any roof-mounted antenna, you just put it in your attic and run your cables in there. Can't wait for Stranger Things. That's a pretty good one. Is that book on Amazon? I would assume this book's on Amazon. It seems like most books are on Amazon. I'll hold it up one more time so you can kind of see the name and the author and what it looks like. Just kind of a fun little silly book. I'm not even sure how accurate it is. It seems to be accurate. The stuff I've read that I've already known the answer to, it is out there. It's been very accurate. So, Stuff Every American Should Know is the name of the book. It's just a very short little pocket-sized book that I would check out. It's from a company called Quirk Books, quirkbooks.com. What's the best antenna tuner? Well, typically the one in your TV is great. HD Home 1, Air TV, and Tableau DVR are the other ones I'd recommend. Let me grab it on Amazon real quick, and I'll put it right here in the link. So I will have this. Yep. It's right here. If you type in Stuff Every American Should Know, but hey, if you want to use the affiliate link and support Court Cars News, they have a Kindle version, which is only $6 if you want to pick up the Kindle version. So right there is I just shared it. Stuff Every American Should Know on Amazon, $5.99 for the Kindle version. Using that link gives Court Cars News a little bit. I've never met the author, but I thought it was a cool book. I've been having fun laying in bed reading a couple chapters at a time. They're very short. It takes a couple minutes. With NAB coming up, are you going, Luke? Yes, so the National Association of Broadcasters show is in a couple weeks. I will be there. I will be shooting videos and all kinds of stuff from the show floor again like I did last year. But keep in mind, we'll see. A lot of the cord cutting companies have kind of pulled out. There really isn't that much out there as there used to be, unfortunately. Have you been to Salt Lake Barbecue in Driftwood, Texas? I have not, Colin, but I'll keep that in mind. Are brand new movies going to be from theaters going to be available on streaming at home instead of going to movie theaters? There already are a growing number of movies that are going direct to streaming, but I can't. Going to movie theaters is still very profitable, so I expect that to continue for some time. I have not watched Dirt on Netflix yet, so we'll keep that in mind. What streaming service still has Viacom? Philo, Fubo is getting it very soon, Sling TV, and others do still have them. There's another one out there I can't remember. But hey, I'm going to wrap this up. Hey, it's 9 o'clock Eastern. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I am going to play a 15-second ad. If you could stay on and watch this 15-second ad, it helps me pay the bills. I would really appreciate it. For everybody else that's still here, hey, thank you so much. Let me check one thing here. We just topped 10 million views on the YouTube channel. Yes, 10 million views on the YouTube channel. Thank you greatly for your support. Jonathan, I'll answer this question. Is Roku selling remotes where you can pick the buttons for an extra fee? No, but I hope they do. I've even talked to Roku before and told their staff, like, hey, you really should do that. I think that will help. All right, everybody. Hey, I think you have a great day. A few things. Thank you for your support. Over 10 million views of our YouTube channel we hit today. In the history of this YouTube channel, 10 million times people have watched our videos. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, thanks for making today the best day ever in the history of the website. Never have we had more people come to the site. Never have we had more page views. Wow, we broke the record just like a week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was now. And now today, once again, we smashed that record. Just smashed it. So thank you for your support. Check us out. Don't forget we have an app now. We also have a daily newsletter. Let me share that. If you want to make sure you never miss any of the great cord cutting stories, I put a link there where you can get a daily newsletter in your email address every morning to check that out. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you all take care. I will see you tomorrow for our daily cord cutting update, and we'll see you next week, Wednesday, for our cord cutting Q&A. So take care, everybody. I appreciate your support. Couldn't be doing this without you. Take care. You have a good night, and thank you.